Have you ever noticed how much of your life is shaped not by what you want, but by what you think others will approve of? How often do you soften your voice, shrink your personality, hold back your truth, or dim your light because you're afraid someone, somewhere, won't like the real you? Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us continue bringing reflections that awaken, inspire, and transform. And I promise what you'll discover in this video may change the way you see yourself, your relationships, and the invisible forces that shape your life. Because today, we're going to expose a silent force that may be sabotaging your confidence, your dreams, and your potential without you even realizing it. This force is the fear of being disliked, a subtle, invisible trap that keeps you small, obedient, agreeable, and silent. And the worst part? Most people never break free from it. But you will, because by the end of this video, you won't just understand why you're afraid of being disliked. You'll understand how to develop the rarest form of freedom, the courage to be disliked. Most people live their entire lives as prisoners, not in cages or cells, but in the prison of other people's opinions. They become experts at pleasing, adapting, adjusting, and performing. They create versions of themselves tailored to every room they enter. A different mask for work, a different mask for family, a different mask for friends. And somewhere in that endless performance, they lose themselves. The psychologist Alfred Adler believed that one of humanity's deepest fears is the fear of rejection. Not physical pain, not failure, but social disapproval. He argued a radical idea that the need to be liked is the need to be controlled. Because once someone knows you crave their approval, they can shape your decisions, your identity, your behavior, and your entire life. And here's the heartbreaking truth. Most of the limitations you think are yours are actually chains created by other people's expectations. Think about it. How many times did you stop yourself from doing something because you thought, "What will people think?" How many times did you hide your feelings because you thought someone might judge you? How many times did you stay silent because you didn't want to seem difficult? How many dreams did you kill because someone might disapprove? You see, the fear of being disliked doesn't just steal your confidence, it steals your entire life. But here's where things get even more interesting. The fear of being disliked isn't caused by the world around you, it's caused by the story you tell yourself. Adler believed that you don't suffer from events, you suffer from the meaning you attach to them. If someone dislikes you, you tell yourself it's because you failed, you weren't enough, you did something wrong. But what if their dislike has nothing to do with you? What if it's just their own insecurities, their own stories, their own projections? This is what Jung meant when he said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." People don't dislike you because of who you are. They dislike you because of what you trigger inside them. And if you live your life trying to avoid triggering anyone, you will never fully express yourself. But the real question is, why is this fear so powerful? Why does discomfort in someone's eyes feel like danger? Why does the possibility of disapproval feel like death? The answer lies deep in human evolution. For thousands of years, being disliked wasn't just uncomfortable, it was dangerous. If your tribe rejected you, you died. Isolation meant death. Loneliness meant death. Exile meant death. So your brain evolved to treat rejection as a threat. Even today, your nervous system reacts to disapproval the same way it reacts to physical danger. Someone frowns at you, your heart rate spikes. Someone questions your choices, your brain floods with anxiety. Someone pulls away from you, your body interprets it as abandonment. You are not weak, you are human. But the modern world no longer works like that. You don't need approval to survive, yet your brain still thinks you do. And unless you rewire this instinct, you'll spend your entire life pleasing people who don't even like themselves. Think of all the times you said yes, even though your soul was screaming no. Think of all the times you stayed in relationships just to avoid disappointing someone. Think of all the times you dimmed your greatness because you didn't want to intimidate anyone. Adler called this the life lie, the belief that your worth depends on external validation, that you must earn love, that acceptance must be bought, that approval is the highest currency. But here is the truth most people never learn. You cannot be free until you are willing to be disliked. Freedom requires friction. Authenticity requires resistance. Growth requires uncomfortable choices. And wisdom requires the strength to disappoint the people who benefit from your silence. Let me ask you something. Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to protect? Who are you afraid to upset? Whose opinion is controlling your life? Imagine, for a moment, a life where you no longer fear being disliked. A life where you speak your truth without apologizing. A life where you pursue your dreams without performing for approval. A life where your decisions come from your soul, not from someone else's expectations. What would that life look like? Who would you become? How much of your potential would finally break through? This is the courage Adler talks about, not the courage to fight lions or climb mountains, but the courage to live as yourself, to choose authenticity over belonging, to choose truth over comfort, to choose self-respect over approval. Most people will never experience this courage because they are terrified of conflict. But conflict is not the enemy. Conflict is clarity. If someone cannot tolerate your boundaries, they were never meant to be in your life. If someone dislikes you for being honest, they were using you, not loving you. If someone hates you for being yourself, they were never aligned with you to begin with. You do not fear being disliked. You fear losing the people you were never meant to keep. The moment you accept this, everything changes. You stop chasing people. You stop begging for love. You stop shrinking to fit into small minds. You stop apologizing for who you are. You stop walking on eggshells. You stop sacrificing your soul for acceptance. And something incredible begins to happen. You attract people who resonate with your truth, not your masks. You attract relationships rooted in respect, not convenience. You attract opportunities that align with your real purpose, not your performance. The courage to be disliked doesn't make you lonely, it makes you free. And here's the paradox. The more you stop caring about being liked, the more people respect you. Because people are drawn to authenticity. They admire boundaries. They crave honesty. They long for someone who stands tall in their identity. The courage to be disliked makes you powerful because it removes the world's ability to control you. But let's go even deeper. There is a darker reason why people fear being disliked. Because being disliked forces you to confront who you actually are. When you stop performing for others, you are faced with the ultimate question: who am I when no one is watching? Most people avoid this question their entire lives, because once the masks come off, once the noise fades, once the approval is gone, you are left with yourself. And for many people, that is the scariest place on earth, but not for you. Because if you're still here, listening to this, you are already awakening. You are outgrowing the performance. You are shedding the layers of expectation. You are returning to your core, and that return is painful. Growth always is. You will lose people. You will confuse people. You will trigger people. You will disappoint people. And you will be misunderstood. But the people you lose were attached to your mask. The people you keep will love your soul. Carl Jung said, "The first step toward individuation is rejection by the tribe," meaning you cannot become yourself while trying to belong to everyone. So here is the truth most people never accept. You will be disliked no matter what you do. You will be judged whether you speak or stay silent. You will be criticized whether you succeed or fail. You will be misunderstood whether you hide or shine. So why not be disliked for being yourself? The courage to be disliked is the courage to be alive, to be awake, to be whole, to be complete without permission, to belong to yourself fully. And when you begin to live this way, something extraordinary happens. You finally meet the person you were always meant to become. Not the version shaped by fear. Not the version shaped by childhood. Not the version shaped by society. Not the version shaped by expectations, but the version shaped by your own truth. You stop living life as a reaction. You start living life on purpose. You stop living life as a mirror. You start living life as a flame. Wisdom begins when performance ends. Freedom begins when approval loses its power. And life begins when you finally choose yourself. Because the courage to be disliked is the courage to truly